So we had an incredible year. There were a lot of ups and downs, but overall, I was really pleased with how the year went. And I wanted to kind of come to you guys raw because I have some shifts that I'm making and I want to basically show you how I can help you even further. So I've done a lot of reflecting over the last couple of months and just really realized that there are so many more ways that I can actually help people succeed, and a lot of the ways that we earn an income, I don't really talk about to the fullest extent on my channel. And so I want to make a big shift this year to address a lot of that. And I'll talk about some of it in this video. But essentially, over the years, I've really made a lot of money in the digital marketing, affiliate marketing, online marketing space where I don't really have clients. I create things once and I automate systems to get paid over and over and over again. And it's some of the best money that we make. I've talked about it a few times on the channel where I think it was probably back in 2021 or so, 2022 potentially, where I saw an ad for a bundle of social media templates for real estate agents. And not only was that really cool because I hadn't really seen anybody put together like a bundle of templates, but they were selling it for 10 bucks. And I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. But then I saw the comments. There were thousands of comments under that ad saying, info, tell me more. How do I get it? And so being entrepreneurial, I said, well, I could probably create that. I use Canva every day. It couldn't be that hard. So I actually purchased what they were selling and I recreated my own version of it. I changed all the logos and the fonts and colors and the pictures and everything, but at least I had a structure of what was selling really well. And that thing went on to make like a couple $100,000 pretty passively. I would send emails out and I'd get some days, we had, not to get too much into family stuff, but we had some family that really needed some help. They were in the hospital, and while we were in there helping them out, we were getting sometimes $2,000 a day from sales from this thing that I created, and it took a lot of work. I mean, it sounds simple. It was Canva templates, but it probably took me like 3 full days barely sleeping to like create this thing, because not only is it the deliverable, like the templates, but it's also the imaging for the product and the email sequences that go out and the ads and all that kind of stuff to build this business. But once you build it, then when somebody was buying, automations were taking over. Like they would buy, we would see a notification on our phone that said you just made a sale for 37 bucks or 10 bucks or whatever. And then I didn't have to do anything. The system would email it out. Every now and then you get somebody, I didn't get my email or whatever, and you'd have to do a little bit of customer support, but it's pretty minimal. And the deliverable was already handled and they were happy with it and they were using it, which was really cool. And we had developed some upsells after we kind of figured it out. So we had a $10 package and then a $37 package and I think a $97 like third upsell with some video templates and stuff. And so it was working great. And I was sending messages out over Instagram DMs to real estate agents, which are really easy to find. And then I had my sister ended up working with us, and she was kind of doing that process, sending like 50 DMs a day. And we tested running some ads. We did a bunch of email stuff, and it just was a great business. And over time, like it still works really well, but just Canva templates aren't as hot as they were a few years ago because there's so many of them out there. And Canva now has so many in their library that you can still do this business and make incredible money, but it just isn't at its absolute peak where we were pulling in $2,000 plus per day some days, which is really cool. So all that to say, I've really realized that my favorite kind of money to make is digital online money. I went to a conference with Wanetah maybe a year or two ago now, and we were in a room with a bunch of entrepreneurs, and some of them were plumbers and roofers and had like physical brick and mortar businesses. And they were talking about all the struggles they had with team and staff not showing up and hiring and profit margins and stuff. And we were just looking at each other like, wow, we are really blessed that we just don't have all of that. We basically set up systems and automate a lot of that. And every now and then we have, employees and contractors that work with us that do jobs and things like that. But for the most part, our profit margins are insanely high. Like some days, other than email credits, it's like almost 100% profit, say 90, 95% profit. And that's just like a digital product that I created one time. What I love about it is, again, you can create something and then you just like sell the link, sell access to it over and over and over again. And there isn't a ton of like ongoing support. It's like, did you get the link? You got it? Great. Oh, best of luck. I'm so glad you got it. Here, we'll tell you about future stuff that we have. And that's just one thing. That's one tiny thing, like a Canva template for real estate agents. There are so many other possibilities in the world to create. Another way that we make a ton of money is with affiliate marketing, which is kind of a similar process, except we're not in charge of the ultimate deliverable. We're just recommending something that we like and we use. So it can be a software tool, it can be even like something on Amazon that you use. You can just send people a link, and if they buy it, then you get a commission. I like to do that for software businesses and ways that you can get recurring income, because then you can make a sale once and you can get paid every single month. So that income kind of stacks and stacks and stacks to where we were just reflecting last night on New Year's Eve. We kind of sit down and talk about what happened over the year, what we appreciate, what we haven't really paid attention to, those kinds of things, and what we're wanting to do for the next year. And I sat there and I was like, I haven't really taken time to appreciate the fact that we literally don't have to answer to any bosses. If we need something, we can just go get it. If we have a place that we need to go, like if something comes up, an emergency, or anything, we just literally get in the car and go. We don't have to check in with anybody, which is amazing. And income still comes in day after day. And I'm not saying all this to brag. I'm just saying it because I want to help you guys that are interested do something similar. So I'm going to be putting more content out that addresses that side of it. It is great to have clients in some cases where you can get paid a lot of money to do a service for somebody, but there are also a lot of headaches that come with that. There's client management and personalities and Zoom calls and all kinds of like, what did you do for me, and how make sure you justify that what I'm paying you and all that stuff. So it can get hectic. And as you scale, because of all of that, it comes with adding more staff, adding more employees, all the things that I mentioned at that conference that we went to that people were dealing with, that cut into your mind space, cut into your revenue and your profit margins. So there are ways to be a small creator, a small solo business, and make incredible money, make 6 to 7 figures plus, just creating things once and then automating the deliverability of that, figuring out systems to generate traffic, whether that's if you already have a following on a social media platform or you're paying for that traffic by running Facebook ads or something. You can get traffic to that thing and try it out for relatively inexpensively. And it's an incredible business model, incredible lifestyle, and something that I want to share more about. And I think I'm going to drive most of my attention this coming year to talk about that, because it has been life-changing for us. My entire life I've been entrepreneurial and selling different widgets and things. Sometimes I'd buy things and flip them and sell them on eBay or whatever, and that is cool, but it also has a risk to it, because you're paying money for something and then you don't really know if it's going to sell, or at least if it's going to sell for what you were expecting. Sometimes I've lost money on those things, especially if you're getting into e-com and you're buying a bunch of stuff in bulk. Then you have all that inventory that hopefully you sell, but maybe you don't. So that comes with risk. Flipping stuff on eBay comes with risk. I've bought stuff I thought I was going to make a lot of money on, and then come to find out that there was a piece broken, or whatever. So those things can work, but it's just comes with risks. Versus digital product stuff can deliver a great result for somebody, because, as in my example I keep using, the real estate agent Canva templates, like they either would have not posted on social media at all, which is most likely, or if they did do this, they would have hired somebody or spent hours and hours and hours, all the 3 days in a row that without sleep that I spent creating those things, they would have done. And for $10 or $37, they could solve that problem and have something immediately to go out and post. So just solving one small problem for somebody, it doesn't have to be scammy or whatever, like just actually delivering something that's useful to somebody, but that you can create one time and then use systems to automate over and over and over again, is incredible money. And we would set up text message automations to come to our phone to where it would say, I think we said something like, money always flows to you. You just made a sale of $10 or $37. And it was so fun just going to dinner, and then we'd get a couple notifications like that we had made a few $100s while we were sitting there at dinner. And so I want to get more um, transparent with those things to you guys so that I can teach you what I've been doing. And there'll be a lot of things that I create that I can share with you that you can go out and sell yourself if you want to. So I want to really shift the content to AI and digital marketing and how to create income online by creating something once and then selling it over and over and over again. And just to put a button on this, I just did a small consulting job for a friend of mine. I normally don't take on small consulting jobs. If I do, it's a big project where we're partnering with somebody, but this was just a friend I've known for a long time that needed help on a launch for a product they were selling. And we are so blessed right now in such a prime opportunity because I used to do webinars for years with one of my business partners, and it would take us weeks to put all the imagery together, like the product images and the little bundles. If you've ever been on a webinar, you see kind of the stack of stuff that you get. And it would take me weeks because I was decent at Photoshop, but not amazing. And Canva couldn't quite do what I wanted it to do. It would look, okay, but not great. But this, what it would do, I could literally use AI and I would say, create me a webinar style like product image that I can put for my product. Here's the logo, here's the what's included in it. And it would create incredible images, like stuff that I never, even to this day, would be able to do with Photoshop and stuff. So we're just in an amazing time. If you do have something in mind that you want to sell, if you don't, that's okay. I'll give you some ideas on what directions you might be able to go to. If you have something that's already kind of working, which is some of my favorite people to work with, because you already are taking the steps to make something happen, you just don't quite have all the pieces firing. I'll give you a lot of tools to do that as well. So I'll be making more announcements as to what all this means in the very near future, but I just wanted to come on New Year's Day and just kind of, again, go raw and talk to you guys about what's on my mind and my heart to deliver to you guys in the coming year. And hopefully you'll join me on that journey and I can help you, because I find that sometimes some of the things I've taught in the past are easy for me, but it's because I've been doing this for a very long time and I don't realize sometimes the skill level that some things take. So it's easy to get hyped up into something, but then you don't have all the tools or the skills to deliver upon that thing, so you get frustrated. So I want to try to deliver even more quasi done for you type of things, where I can just hand you something and say, here's a way to get started, and that will teach you some of the skills to go back and then start kind of recreating and building these things on your own. So again, I'll talk more about this in the very near future, but I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you following me. If you aren't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I have a lot more really fun stuff that I'm going to share with you. And a lot of it, again, if you are kind of stuck, you're lost, or you're just like, I really need to make some shifts, then I promise I'll deliver a lot of things that are going to be really helpful to guide you in a better direction if that's what you're looking to do. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.